Hello everybody, Wyatt-Andrews-Workshop here, and welcome back, finally, to another episode of Orewell Zoo. This marks the beginning of Season 2 of the series. I figured just because of the almost year-long hiatus we've had with this series, I figured why not make it a Season 2 and just sort of go over, everything we've been working on and everything we've changed, because I've been, revising a ton of stuff. So yeah, that's what we'll be spending a lot of this series doing. I have a checklist of things I want to get done during this season. It's very, very exciting. A lot of new sections, a lot of fixing old sections, which we will see actually very soon. But yeah, I just say we get right into it because there's something specific I want to show off today. So yeah, let's do it. So right off the bat, long-time viewers will probably notice something very different about the entrance. So this little building here used to be the admissions booth, but I thought it was much too small and kind of old looking, and we still have these windows here and stuff, but it's all been it's all completely defunct at this point. So I decided to put a little garden up in front of it, and I've got these nice little otter statues here, which I may replace with something else in the future. I'm not too sure what. I want a statue here, but I'm not too sure about the otter statue specifically, especially because we don't have giant otters in the zoo yet, but I plan to at some point, probably in the Amazon section. But yeah, that's one of the changes we made. And then over here, I replaced the pictures of real animals, which was what used to be here, with ones of the in-game models, which I think is just much more visually cohesive. And I did the same thing over here with the membership sign. We've got a cassowary here now. And then on the other side, platypus. I think there used to be a picture of an otter here, but it's a platypus now because well, that's kind of a spoiler, but we do have platypus in the zoo now. But that's for another episode. Because, yeah, I actually have been working on this zoo very thoroughly over the past year, so there's lots and lots of things to show. And then over here, this is still a work in progress, but we have a new building on the side. This is going to function as several different things. It will be the admissions booth, which is what this is all going to be, and then inside of here will be a gift shop plus a secondary exit. I figure these doors will be only openable from the from this way, and just so people can't sneak into the zoo through the gift shop, but you can leave through the gift shop, which is what this will be. And then I think some administration stuff maybe on this side is what this door will be good for. But this this entrance archway, which has been here since day one, was based on the one at Orewell Zoo in Utah, in Salt Lake City. And this building is based on one of the main entrance buildings for Thanksgiving Point, which is also close to Salt Lake City, Utah. So we're just kind of going all out with the Utah architecture, which is not what I was expecting. But there's some really cool themes. Well, not really themes. This is just kind of generic, but entertainment venues with some neat kind of generic architecture. There has to be a name for this style of architecture, but I have yet to find it, so I'm just kind of calling it generic Western, semi-modern architecture. And then this is going to be one of many billboards that we put together. This is advertising the Australia section, which was actually what we looked at last episode, again, almost a year ago, which Lion did, and we've actually done a ton of work in that area, so that will definitely be getting its own episode. But yeah, come say good day to our kangaroos and emus. And again, using the in-game models, and then the guest model, which I think is a pretty funny contrast against the much more realistic animal models, but I think it's neat. And then I managed to get a scan of if I can get a better look at it, the logo, which is up here, and I managed to turn that into a JPEG, a transparent JPEG, so now I can just sort of plaster this on whatever, and might use it for the thumbnail. We'll see, because I want to overhaul the look of the thumbnails for this channel. So yeah, and then yeah, so that's all a work in progress. I guess we're going through the exit this time, and yeah, So what I'm thinking is the entrance to the gift shop will be here, and guests can come in, and they can leave if they want, but they won't be able to sneak into the zoo this way. So yeah, and yeah, so that's that building, and then this is the Madagascar house. What used to be here was the Seal Harbor. Last episode, this was like actually empty because I had moved the Seal Harbor over to what I wanted to be the Glacier Bay section, but then I ended up saving over all of that, so that's just completely gone. So now we have the Madagascar house, which is empty, unfortunately. Ooh, sorry. So the Madagascar house is empty. I actually did make part of an interior for it earlier this year, but I didn't like it, so it's gone. We'll get around to it. We'll get around to a new, much better one at some point. But yeah, this is the current state of the Madagascar house, and I'm doing this sort of thing throughout the zoo where I'm like repurposing old buildings within the lore. So this used to be the old small mammal house, but they tore out the interior, and now it's the Madagascar house. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then other things we ought to show. Just the lighting real quick. Yeah, not much has changed over here. It's just the flamingos. Clock tower, beautiful as always. And reptile world, pretty much the same. Oh, this is something new. So this is the Friends of the Zoo Garden. So just anyone like who's been like a buddy of mine in the community, or anyone who's contributed to the zoo, be it guest building or making some sort of critical workshop item, has a little stone in this garden. So we've got Ruble Trillions, Beyond Your TV, Eben, Remnant, Lion, Crocs, Squatch, Just Goron, Ricey, Juno Beach 6, who made the Desert Dome, Mealy, and Leaf. And that's everyone for now, but this will definitely expand as I both think of more people and as more people contribute to the project in some way. So yeah, and then we've got these cute little flamingo statues which match the exhibit across the way. But we're actually going to hop to another location in the zoo now because, I don't know, it's a little far. I don't want to just like walk and not say anything. So I'll meet you guys over there. Okay, so you're probably wondering, where the heck in the zoo are we? I don't recognize any of this. But this is actually a pretty historic section in Orewell Zoo, not in terms of time, but just in terms of when we built it. This is actually the section we started the series with. I believe I started out calling it the Asian Forest Sanctuary. It was just sort of in the wake of the Southeast Asian DLC, which was well over a year ago at this point. And and from there I renamed it to the Indo-Malaya Trail, and then I think I called it the Sundaland, which is just a synonym. Basically, it references the Sundaland Plate, which is what most of the Southeast Asian islands sit on, just to differentiate it from the Indo-Malaya building, which is in the Toronto Zoo. But after that, I was just kind of over like working with like outdoor exhibits for Southeast Asian animals, and I wanted to sort of broaden my horizons and make like a more general rainforest area. So I changed the name to Treetop Trek and redid the species list to feature animals from all over the world in rainforests. And I enlisted the help of somebody on Bro Nation who goes by the name of Squatch, who is arguably the master of primate exhibitry and like the climbing structures for primates. So I figured, why not get someone who could do a better job than I could to help? And yeah, they did a phenomenal job, and I'm so excited to show you what they did. This is all very much a work in progress because, like myself, Squatch had run out of motivation and told me they would come back to work on this area at a later date, which I totally understood. This area is kind of a motivation vampire. So, this is all a work in progress, but for now I think it's showable. So we'll take a look around. So far, everything you can see is me. I did all of this a couple months ago, earlier in the summer. And yeah, we've got these really sick mud walls, which are mostly the like African mud pillars, but we've also got some of the roots from the faux trees and the like the strangler fig roots and some of these faux pebbles. And yeah, I think it's much more close to the reference, which is the monkey trails at San Diego. Speaking of which, we've got all these really cool custom fences, and then this aviary, which is still a work in progress, but the main structure is finished, which is what I wanted to show off. And then, yeah, some more of these mud walls. And then this is where we get to some of what Squatch did. He did these really cute monkey signs that hang up against the trees. And then over here, this is some old structure I did. We've got this aviary on this side. But over here, we have a new exhibit for capybara. So I'm not sure if I want to keep this as capybara. In terms of like the prompts I gave Squatch, I just said like just general rainforest animals, and here I wanted something like semi-aquatic because this is where the tapirs used to be, the Malayan tapirs. These guys are kind of just like all like paddling around together. It's a little weird, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'll keep this capybara. I mean, it's a pretty simple exhibit. It's pretty interchangeable. Maybe otters. It might actually bring back tapirs. I feel like it's a decent enough size for them. But we'll see. It's not a huge deal. But yeah, this like all of this like exhibit interior is all Squatch, and they did a great job using some of the blueprints. And then these fences are custom by them, and a really nice clean pool. And I love the colored rock work, which is a technique I helped develop. And yeah, really great simple exhibit. And still a work in progress. I imagine we'll do some more landscaping in this area, but probably not too much because it's very similar to the Malayan tapir exhibit at the San Diego Zoo. It's pretty much just this barren, sandy yard with a pool. Just because I'm thinking like late 80s, early 90s for this area, so the exhibitry wasn't the most natural yet, but they were starting to develop the immersion techniques. So yeah, and then this aviary is unchanged, just because it's simple. I think I did a good job back in last summer when I built it. So yeah, and then over here, this used to be the Dole exhibit, and then this was all me. This was I think a couple months ago. I built this exhibit, and it is for the fishing cats now. So we'll go in. This interior is empty. And then there were a couple modded scenery items I had in here, which I'm working on sort of like removing, just so I can have as many people access the file as possible, because I want to put it on the workshop at some point. So yeah, this is the fishing cat exhibit. I meant to put them in here because they actually use the structure super well, the climbing structure. They actually come up on the branches, which is really cool. That was kind of an accident, but it ended up looking really good. And I repurposed this netting from the seabird exhibit I made at St. Reginald's Zoo. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. I'm definitely going to keep it for this exhibit, but I'm not sure if I want to continue this technique going forward. I will actually show what I want to do going forward in terms of that, but that's for another exhibit. But yeah, similar techniques going on with the colored faux rocks, representing kind of like a moss sort of going back as you get deeper into the pool. So it starts out like yellow, and then it gets green, and then darker green, and then it ends up blue at the bottom, just because of the way the water distorts the effect due to the distance. But yeah, this is a really solid exhibit. One of my really solid exhibit. One of my new favorites for sure. I just really love the design and the landscaping. I might actually reinstall the fishing cat mod and just get some clips of them frolicking around, because it really is incredible to watch them go. It's a great mod as well. I forget who made it, but alas. So let me get back into explore mode here, and we will begin the proper treetop trek. And then this elevator building is by me. It's referencing a lot of the material I used for, you can kind of see it off in the distance there. I'm working on a replica of the Albert's restaurant from the San Diego Zoo. It's that really gorgeous red-roofed building, series of buildings actually. I'm going to make it kind of a shopping district for the zoo, which is part of my sort of mental master plan. But yeah, I'm just sort of using the similar materials. We've got this green corrugated wall, and then there's a red, well, there's one right there, the red metal roof on top. So yeah, it's just that sort of aesthetic consistency. But we will move forward We've got a couple exhibits in progress on this side, but we do have one finished actually. It is the lion-tailed macaque exhibit. This is so cool. So this is all by Squatch at this point. So we've got the binturong. I've yet to take a proper screenshot for this display. So for now we've got the binturong. It's just the same blueprint, so that's why that's there. But yeah, this is meant for lion-tailed macaques. I again forgot to install the mod, but I quickly placed some female proboscis monkeys in here for good measure. But yeah, just look at this, dude. So we've got we'll actually discuss that when we get to the top. But for now, the climbing structure is like very, very natural. It's almost entirely branches, which I thought he was climbing it, which unfortunately means the monkeys don't use it. I may discuss with Squatch like how we want to approach that going forward, because the monkeys and other hey, I'll take that. I'll take what I can get. But yeah, sometimes they occasionally like walk on the lower branches, but they're never up here, unfortunately. So I want to discuss with Squatch going forward how we want to approach that. Maybe incorporate some of the beams that they climb more frequently. But like just on a purely like aesthetic level, it is so freaking cool. Just the branches strewn about and the ropes they used and all of the different trees. It's so much more natural and realistic than what we're usually able to afford doing in the game. It's absolutely incredible. And now that we're at the top, I want to discuss the method I had for the netting, which I'm going to use going forward. And you actually saw in the last episode of Dawson Mountain Zoo. It's just the ceiling fan cables strewn about in different directions. And Squatch definitely had a unique way of doing it, where they've got these big like central pillars, which looks really, really cool. And yeah, so this is the lion-tailed macaque exhibit. They've got a really neat like hut set up in here, which is still a work in progress, but looks super cool. Something I really, really like is the material use here. They've got the little like metal banding from the Twilight set, and they've just like replicated it a whole bunch, and it looks like a corrugated sheet for a roof. Really clever material usage there. But yeah, I have like a vague species list of what I want. So we're gonna have coatis over here, and then another species of monkey over here, and that's what you'll be able to view from the hut display. And then we still got the elephants over here. But that'll be for another episode, because I made some significant changes to their habitat. And then another monkey over here, maybe a gibbon. And then over here, we still have the clouded leopard exhibit. And then I had Squatch do a new climbing structure, which looks great, and they use it much more. Look at them go. But yeah, that's still a work in progress, and all this landscaping, and they still need a shelter building. But yeah, we'll go through the old clouded leopard analysis station, which has actually been here since the very beginning of the area and the series, come to think of it. And yeah, no real changes to the interior. I actually had some terrariums in here that used the scenery from the exhibit prop mod pack, but again, had to remove it for safety. And yeah. Oh, right. So this used to be a exhibit for silvery lutongs, but I ended up replacing it with... Oh yeah, look at the view. There used to be this really iconic view in the zoo where I had the tapirs down in front and then the dholes in the back, and you could see the elephants past that, which is I feel really sad about in retrospect that I got rid of that. But I think the area as a whole is much better for it. So, and then look at because Squatch added a whole bunch of new like trees and plants and stuff, so it frames the clock tower really nicely. Let me see if I can actually. Let me do something here. There we go. You have no idea how many trees I've removed to preserve that sightline, but it's absolutely worth it, I think. And then there's a better view of the restaurant in progress, and I've got some more of the... Can you tell I'm really obsessed with the Siamang signs? I don't know if I'm going to keep those there, but I thought it would be funny. And then over here, I plan to add a big like waterfall display, and it'll go into this lake, which will be an island exhibit for the Siamangs, and then the restaurant will overlook that. It's going to be super, super cool. But in the meantime, we have this exhibit for Machi's tree kangaroo. There was actually water here at some point, but I drained it out just looking for some modded pieces that I needed to remove. And then this is actually where I came up with that fence design for the red pandas in Dawson Mountain Zoo episode. Grammar win. But yeah, I like looking back have no idea like what my reference was for this. I think I just came up with it like on the spot, but I'm just obsessed with how it looks. It's so like simultaneously like industrial and janky, and I love how it contrasts with all of the really like immersive landscaping. But yeah, this is a tree kangaroo exhibit. There used to be tree kangaroos in here and Asian small-clawed otters, but I wasn't really sure about that pair-up safety-wise, and I also want the Asian small-clawed otters in another section, which we'll get into. But yeah, this is their setup for now. Looks much better than what we had here before, which was a kind of... I'm trying to remember... Because before... Yeah, that's right. I had like a cage similar to the Clouded Leopard exhibit, but it was just like really kind of obstructed and you couldn't really see into it that well, and it was super shaded with all of the trees. So I just decided to go for a much more open exhibit, and the tree kangaroos fit that bill quite well because they couldn't really jump out of this because they're not quite as agile as the monkeys. So yeah. And then a new development I've included throughout the entire zoo is these new directional signs. So they're directly ripped from the ones at San Diego. So on top we've got the yellow like street sign, and then we've got the white signs below that, which either indicate the zoo exit or the restroom, whichever one is closer. And then we've got all the sections. We've got Discovery Campus, Elephant Trails, Africa Pavilion, Australia, Amazon Adventure, Port Cat Complex, Glacier Bay. Most of these are either in early development or just haven't been touched at all. Namely, the Amazon Adventure hasn't been touched at all. I think that might be a Season 3 area that we work on instead of Season 2. But yeah, those are some things for the future. And then we've got the Desert Dome, which is obviously finished, and the Sunderland, which is the building past all of this. And now we are getting towards more stuff that Squatch did. Let's just appreciate this view for a second. Again, incredible work by Juno on the Desert Dome. So yeah, look at this. It's so cool. This orangutan statue made out of gutter pieces. And his name is Hank, apparently. Very cool. But yeah, this is our completely revamped orangutan exhibit. One of the things I was not happy with in the original after a while was the orangutan exhibit. I just thought it was just kind of too big and too open and like empty, and I didn't really like the rock work. So I had Squatch just completely redo it, and just look at all of this. The climbing structure and all of the ropes. There's so many more ropes now. Unfortunately though, the ropes are the cable pieces, so the orangutan can't use it. I might just do this myself because I didn't really make it clear to Squatch like how functional I wanted these things to be. So I might just go in and replace all of these ropes with the planks so the orangutans can use it, because it's so good. I just want it to work because that's what I think Squatch absolutely deserves that. But yeah, it's so freaking lush. I love how lush it is. Absolutely. And they come out so you can still see them. And then before, another thing I didn't like about the exhibit was none of this walkway existed. It was all just like this side pathway, and you could only see into the exhibit this way, and then you just kind of left. But this is like a huge outdoor exhibit, and I want it to be like something you stop to enjoy, and like this little alcove that you come through to check out the orangutans. It's very, very cool. Because I told Squatch, like, I don't just want like more landscaping or a new climbing structure. I want like a complete like redo of this exhibit, which they absolutely delivered on. So yeah, can I move? No. She can move. Why can't I move? What the heck, game? All right, whatever. We're moving past it. But yeah, that is pretty much all I wanted to show in this first episode of Season 2. You can kind of, in the distance, see some stuff we've got going on over there past the Desert Dome. It's very, very exciting. But yeah, for now, tomorrow we're going to record a new episode of St. Reginald, or it'll probably be out by the time this episode comes out of Orewell. And then I've got some stuff cooking in Dawson Mountain, and then some more brand new stuff on the other side of Orewell Zoo that I think we'll be getting a new episode of very soon. So I'll see you in whatever comes first, and have a good one.